Get ready for the action because Colby Covington has officially retired from the UFC. The former interim welterweight champion has notified the promotion of his retirement, and his status has officially been changed from active to retired on the UFC website. We break down everything we know about this significant change and what it means for the landscape of the sport. The action live and see the incredible lineup featuring fighters like Topuria and Alex Pereira. And finally, we hear from Melquizael Costa as he breaks his silence following a brutal loss to Arnold Allen at UFC Vegas 117. Costa shares his mindset and motivation as he looks to bounce back and get back into the title mix. Don't miss the rest of this incredible news. Stay locked in with us. The UFC has officially announced the retirement of Colby Covington from its active roster. The once interim welterweight champion notified the promotion of his decision on Monday, leading to an immediate change in his status on the official UFC website from active to retired, as reported by UFC Roster Tracker. Covington has not competed under the UFC banner since 2024. Covington, who first debuted with the promotion in 2014, was known by the moniker Chaos. He achieved significant success early on, winning 10 of his first 11 bouts, including a 7-fight win streak that contributed to his claim of the interim 170-pound title via a unanimous decision victory over Rafael dos Anjos in 2018. However, his tenure saw a decline in performance and activity. After losing the belt to Kamaru Usman via TKO in 2019, Covington fought only 5 more times for the organization, posting a 2-3 record in that period. 2 of those losses were title fights, both unanimous decision defeats against Usman in 2021 and Leon Edwards in 2023. His final fight in the UFC concluded with a 3rd-round TKO loss to Joaquin Buckley, as the contest was stopped by doctors due to an eye injury sustained by Covington. Covington's overall UFC record stands at 12 wins and 5 losses. Despite concluding his UFC career, Covington remains active in the mixed martial arts world. He has competed twice under the Real American Freestyle banner, a wrestling promotion, holding a 2-0 record with victories over former UFC fighters Luke Rockhold and Dylan Dannies. His next scheduled bout is against former middleweight champion Chris Weidman on May 30. Top-ranked UFC middleweight contender Caio Borralho has publicly expressed his desire to face Joe Pyfer in an upcoming bout, ideally this summer at UFC 330. Borralho currently holds the number 4 ranking in the official UFC middleweight rankings, with Pyfer positioned closely behind at number 6. The timing is particularly opportune, as UFC 330 is scheduled to take place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on August 15th. Speaking to AG Fight, Borralho confirmed his ambition to fight this summer, viewing a matchup against Pyfer in Philadelphia as the perfect opportunity. He stated that while he is flexible regarding the timeline, planning for August, September, or even October, he is determined not to wait past October. Borralho emphasized the significance of the Philadelphia date, noting that Pyfer's home city creates a compelling narrative for the fight. Borralho is currently focused on recovering from a rib injury sustained before his victory over Reinier de Ridder. He detailed the arduous rehabilitation process, explaining that rib injuries are notoriously slow to heal due to poor blood flow in the area, which hinders recovery. He is actively pursuing hyperbaric chamber therapy, daily collagen intake, and comprehensive rehabilitation to expedite his return to action. The potential clash between Borralho and Pyfer is highly anticipated due to the fresh nature of both fighters. Neither contender has faced Sean Strickland, who recently captured the UFC middleweight championship by defeating Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 328. Since both Borralho and Pyfer are newcomers to the title picture, a title eliminator bout between them is considered a logical progression following any potential title shot for Nasruddin Imavov. Looking at their records, Borralho enters the contest with an 8-1 overall UFC record, having secured wins against every opponent except Imavov. Pyfer boasts a 7-1 record, with his last fight being a TKO victory over Israel Adesanya, which propelled him into the elite tier of the division and positioned him for a potential title eliminator against Borralho. The Ultimate Fighting Championship has opened ticket requests for the Fan Fests, accompanying the UFC Freedom 250 event scheduled for June 14 at the White House. These tickets are free and will grant 85,000 fans access to watch the fights on large screens located across the street at Ellipse Park. The first of the two Fan Fests, which will also feature stages, music, and meet and greets with fighters, is set for June 13. Fans can request 2 free tickets, though selection is by random drawing. Registrants will receive email notifications regarding the fulfillment of their requests. The deadline to submit requests is Friday, May 22, at 11:59 p.m. ET. The event itself is scheduled for June 14, with prelims starting at 4 p.m. ET and the main card at 8 p.m. ET. Streaming will be available on Paramount+, which is free with a monthly subscription starting at $8.99. Approximately 4,000 spectators are expected to watch the bouts from outside the temporary arena on the South Lawn. Reports indicate that President Donald Trump has 1,000 tickets. The White House holds 200, and another 200 have been allocated to Ariel Emanuel, CEO of the holding company owning the UFC. Remaining tickets are slated for various branches of the military. The fight card features several high-profile matchups, including Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje for the lightweight championship unification bout, Alex Pereira against Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight championship, Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi at bantamweight, and several other compelling fights across multiple weight classes. UFC featherweight Melquizael Costa has broken his silence following a disappointing loss to Arnold Allen at UFC Vegas 117. Costa's 6-fight win streak was terminated when Allen secured a unanimous decision victory over him in a 5-round battle at the UFC Apex, earning him a return to the title mix at 145 pounds. Costa struggled against Allen's relentless pace and pressure, resulting in his first professional loss since a second-round knockout defeat to Steve Garcia in December 2023. Despite the setback, the 29-year-old fighter expressed optimism about his future, stating in an Instagram post, "MMA is this, an individual and brutal sport where only one wins. Tonight belonged to Arnold Allen, no complaints. I'm still ranked and motivated. On to the next one. Thank you to everyone who was cheering for me. We'll come back stronger." Costa had previously earned his first career UFC main event booking after a knockout victory over Dan Ige at UFC Houston earlier this year. Prior to this loss, Costa had maintained a strong recent streak, securing wins against fighters including Morgan Charrier, Julian Erosa, and Christian Rodriguez. Meanwhile, Arnold Allen rebounded to the win column after 3 consecutive losses in his last 4 fights, which included recent defeats to Movsar Evloev and former featherweight champion Max Holloway. The UK standout is now looking to regain the form that saw him secure victories over fighters such as Calvin Kattar, Dan Hooker, and Sadiq Yusuff earlier in his career.